Looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do his will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Hate Christ in their image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, class was being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game. Put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put billions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Dog, it's a dog.
Was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact of them here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Back roll.
You'll never see another nigga like this. Used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm going westward, sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. That's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swerve in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this world been my whole life, my whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that God flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't. The streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the score in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this world in my whole life, my whole life.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on? It's Captain Maul Quad of the Isupk, letting you know to join us again tonight.
Shalom, Israel. This is the Isupk out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. I'm Officer Nataziyah Bamat. I'm here with the one and only man amongst men, my son, my rider, Officer Nashwan. All right, tonight's going to be a glorious class. There we go, there we go. Tonight's going to be a glorious class. Okay, this is history in the making. Father and son on the ones and twos together. All right. So tonight we're going to be holding it down for Isupk Southern Illinois law class. All right. The title for tonight's class is "The Law is Not Done Away With." That's what we're going to be breaking down today in today's law class. You know, I know we've been taught not only from the Christian church, but, you know, just in everyday life, right? You know, coming from, you know, the barrios and the ghettos, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been taught to be lawless. That's what we've been taught. You know, we've been taught to avoid following, you know, structure, avoid following order and decency. That's what we've been taught. I know that's at least my story, right? You know, I wasn't too big into church or nothing like that. You know, I grew up learning from the streets. That's where I've, you know, got all of my knowledge from. Taking pieces and bits from here and there, wherever I can find it, which I thought were righteous, which I thought were honorable, you know, and I try to make it a part of myself, a part of my identity, you know, and live my life based off those things. Okay. But the truth of the matter is that was all a lie. Those are illusions, you know, and the older you get in life, you start to realize, you know, how tricked we truly are, how the people around us are really just trying to survive, you know, and at the end of the day, they end up lying to you because they've been lied to, you know, and we lie to ourselves, you know, and it's a vicious cycle. It's a perpetual cycle of self-destruction, you know, and like I said, lawlessness. That's the truth of the matter. Okay, so tonight we're going to try to teach you a little bit about the laws, the statutes and commandments of the Most High, because that's the blueprint that's provided for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I say Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because you are the true chosen people of the Bible. You are the 12 lost tribes of Israel. That is your identity. I know this is probably the first time you ever heard this, but I promise you, I'm gonna break it down for you. You keep on watching class, you tune in, and week after week, we have class every week. ISUPK Chicago, Southern Illinois. We got classes in every zone. Wherever you are, I promise you, we got a class near you. Okay, so you want to learn about your true identity? Tune into the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This knowledge is practical. It can be used in every area of your life. And I don't say that lightly. I mean that. I mean what I say. Okay. With that being said, we're going to start off with a few scriptures, you know, a few milk scriptures, just the basics. Because like I said, we're being taught by the Christian church that the laws are done away with. And that's just totally untrue. Okay. Nashwan, if you could get me Matthew 5:17 through 19. Start with 17 if you could. Let me know when you got it. Okay, like I was saying, you know, the Christian church, man, has truly done a number on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know, they've got a whitewashed version of the Bible, right? It's been given to them by their father, you know, the oppressor, the so-called white, not the so-called, but the white man, right? That's who he is. That's who our oppressor is. You know, whether you like it or not, whether you're offended by that or not, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High tried to tell us that in his own words, who our enemy was. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is we've been bamboozled. You know, we've been tricked. You know, we believed in the illusion that was provided for us. And now we're here in 2025. You know, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? Hispanics are in their own country, you know, and we're being, you know, ostracized and criminalized. And terrorism is being waged against us in our own damn land. That's what we're doing. That's because of Christianity, you know, and I don't say that just to say a random statement. No, there's ties to all of this. You know, there is connections, and that's the truth. You know, we're gonna get into that. Any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead, put it into the chat. I'll try to respond to it. You know, if you want a specific breakdown in regards to the laws, go ahead, put that into the chat, and then, you know, we'll see if we can get to that if I have time. But if you have that, if you could, go ahead and, Officer Nashua.
Salakia, can I get that scripture one more time?
Matthew, we're going with Matthew 5:17. Matthew 5:17. You know, and it's very important that we realize, you know, where we got this information from. Because once you address the cause of a matter, then you can start to fix it. That's the truth, right? You know, cause and effect is real. You ready?
Come.
All right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
All right. So I'm gonna stop you there, and just a little, you know, prelude to that scripture. You know, like I said, the Christian church loves to tell you that it's okay to eat, you know, pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. I mean, what else? You know, I it's so many things you get overwhelmed sometimes, but I'm gonna break a few down. You know, we're okay. It's okay to divorce in the Christian church. It's okay to, you know, have a dispute with your partner, whatever it may be, and you're not happy no more. That's the key thing. That's the key thing. That's the number one thing in divorces. We're just not happy. We're having, what do they call it? Irreconcilable something like that. Differences, you know what I'm saying? Irreconcilable, you know what I'm saying? Differences, which basically means in a nutshell that they're not happy and they want to leave. And the Christian church tells you it's okay to do that. The Christian church tells you it's okay, you know, to be a part of the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? The Christian church tells you it's okay to, you know, use drugs, right? They say, come as you are, you know, and that's damn sure exactly what happens in that Christian church. They come as they are, as wicked as they are, you know what I'm saying? With all, you know, all the demons and lust and, you know, wickedness and desires of the flesh being, you know, portrayed right there in that Christian church, you know, and if it's in the congregation, best believe it's rampant in the leadership, you know, and that's what we're facing here now. And that's why the men, you know, in the ISPK are doing what we do, right? We're battling against those powers and principalities in the land, right? That we're captive in, you know what I'm saying, to speak some truth, right? To fight against that wickedness, that corruption, you know what I'm saying, that you know, just the idol, you know, I forgot, you know, the word I'm trying to say, idolatry. That's what I'm trying to say, the idolatry, right? The serving of other gods that we're taught to do in this land. We're trying to fight against that. You know, the Most High says, and I'm just, you know, paraphrasing, that, you know, you can't serve two gods. You cannot serve two gods. You know, it's either you serve the Most High or you don't. That's it. You know, you're another common thing that's being said, you know, and that you're, you know, identifying with is the Most High knows your heart and all these things. The Most High does know your heart, and it's wicked. That's the fact, and that's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's wicked. He does know your heart. You don't have a private relationship with the Most High. He knows who you are, and he sees your works. You know what I'm saying? So when you come as you are, that's fine, but you're supposed to change, right? You're supposed to believe in the Most High, and then you're supposed to follow him, okay? But that's just a little, you know, preface to that. Go ahead, read that again for me so I can break that again. Break that down. Read that again.
Sir. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Stop. It's very simple. You know, the Most High talks about he's gonna call those that are his, right? He's gonna call those that are his, and he's gonna give this understanding to the simple, right? You know, he's not gonna give these understandings and these breakdowns to the so-called wise and the philosophers of this land. Y'all not gonna get this. You know what I'm saying? So when he says that he come not to destroy, that's exactly what he means, man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say he's coming to say it's okay to be a homosexual. He didn't say he was coming to say, you know what? You don't like your wife, you could leave your wife, man. You don't like your husband, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got your nails done in a while. He ain't bought you enough flowers. You know, another, you know, wicked individual is trying to bid for your attention, and you falling for that. You know, and now you talking about some, you know, my heart, you know, this and that. Nah, man, that's not what he's coming for. He didn't come to destroy the law. Continue. What did he come to do? Continue reading, please.
For the prophets, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Stop. To fulfill. Let me tell you what fulfill means. I'm going to get that for you right now. So to fulfill means to perform or complete. Somehow we get this misconstrued thinking fulfill means fulfilled, ed. It does not mean completed. It has not been completed. The kingdom of heaven, you know what I'm saying, is still here, right? You know, Christ, he didn't do away with the laws. He came down in the flesh and he lived just like us, and he executed those laws. He set an example for us. He was a living example of the perfection of what the law can do, right? That's what the law can do. And what did the law do? The law, gathered men, great men, right? There was Christ, and then there was the 12 apostles, then there was thousands of followers, okay, in that time. And that's not something light. We don't want to just, breeze over that. That's not something light. Any man that can get thousands of followers, is got to be some influential, powerful person, right? Especially back then before social media. Nowadays, you post some nonsense on the internet and you're gonna get a 1,000 damn followers. You know what I'm saying? You shaking your behind, you're gonna get a million followers. We're not talking about that type of follower. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about someone who's going to follow you after their lust and their own, deceitful desires. No, we're talking about righteousness. How hard will it be to establish a following based off of righteousness? You know what I'm saying? Can you understand that? That's what Christ did. That's what Christ did 2,000 plus years ago, and we're still reading about that today. You know what I'm saying? That's why he is our king, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You understand? He was that perfect example in the flesh just to show us, right? He was that leader to show us it could be done. It could be done with every temptation and every, demon talking to us, right? Because we all got those demons. I got them. Commanding General Yohana got them, who's the leader of our nation. You know what I'm saying? We all got them demons. They don't go nowhere. We just learn how to battle them demons. We make them demons run from us. We're real live demon slayers in the ISUK. That's what we do. No cowards, no excuses. You understand? That's what we're about, right? And you got to start from somewhere. You got to start from somewhere. Just like anyone else, I started from watching these classes online. The Lord is with you. The Lord is truly with you. You want to find the truth, he's going to reveal it to you. He's going to lift up that veil from your eyes, and he's going to start to allow you to hear his call, right? But when the time comes and you start to hear that call, you're supposed to do something with it, right? You're supposed to follow that order, because it is an order to come together. Gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire. That's another precept, right? That means you got to come together. You got to be on one accord. You got to follow instruction. There's a hierarchy in this. There's rank and order. It's the Most High. It's Christ. It's Commanding General Yohana. And then it's on down from the generals, captains, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we're here. That's what we're here to do. We're here to do exactly what we were ordered to do as soldiers, in the army of Christ. And we're here to save our brothers and sisters. That's why I'm on this screen right now. That's why I choose order. That's why I choose structure. That's why I choose discipline. That's why I choose to sacrifice. You understand? But I'm gonna get back into this. We're gonna get back into the scripture. I don't want to run off too long. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you guys some real milk to digest, because that's what y'all need. That's what y'all need. All right. So go ahead, continue with that if you could.
For verily, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or
tittle. You got it.
Till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle.
There we go.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
Stop. And just to point out, just a little side note, my son Anashwan is 15 years old, right? And guess what? He's an officer at 50, just like I'm an officer at 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm 33, he's 15, and we got the same rank in the army of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? That means it don't matter your age. It don't matter your background. It don't matter who you are, what you think of yourself, what you've been through. There's order and decency in this truth, right? And as long as you follow this, you'll be able to come up out of that hell that you're living in. You'll learn, how to battle. You'll be equipped with the skills and the weapons to battle the things that, are being used as weapons against you, right? And you see right in front of you the process that it takes to learn and strengthen yourself, to learn correct pronunciations and correct breakdowns. That's what this is about. That's what the laws are for, right? That's to keep order. That's what we're doing. We're keeping order. That's what we're doing right now by teaching this class, right? By following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, there's about 600 plus so-called laws, statutes, and commandments. Not everyone applies to everyone, right? There's some for women, some for men, but they're there in every single area you can possibly imagine, from dietary laws to divorce laws to merchant laws and everything else. You know, this is truly a nation, right? We're not stopping short of anything. You know, we're not stopping short of a damn thing. You know, from the bottom to the top, to the smallest to the biggest, we got this stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to continue to do. Go ahead, read 18 again for me, if you could.
Khan out of one Khan. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
So what that's telling you is heaven. If you a Christian, you believe in heaven. They talk to you about heaven all the time, but we're not Christians here. We're going to talk about the Israelite faith, right? Heaven is going to be established on earth. That's what's going to happen. Has that happened yet? No, it has not. So that tells you right there that the laws are still valid. Every last one of them. Not a jot or a tit. You know what I'm saying? Now, none of it is invalidated. Nothing has changed from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Everything still applies. That's what that scripture is talking about right now. Okay? So even if you're a Christian or whatever else you believe in, you talk about heaven, right? Your people die, you talk about going to heaven. That means heaven is still there. So it's telling you right here that these laws are still abiding. You got to abide by these laws. What don't you understand? You don't get to eat pork, man. I know it tastes good. I used to eat pork too, but guess what? Now, when I think about pork, I think about a disgusting, rotting carcass, consuming creature that I want nothing to do with. Go ahead, Anashwan.
Man, Salakia, when I used to eat it, I always used to get a stomach bug or something always used to happen. I swear, every single time I used to eat it, it was just nasty. It was like,
Damn right. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? People be thinking they call it the itis. Man, that ain't no itis. You dying. You hear me? You dying from eating that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You dying from consuming the things that the Lord has told you are unclean. That's what's going on here, right? We're talking about a damn animal that was used to clear out caves and eat carcasses and everything, you know, every biological thing that's left over from feces to whatever you want to call it. That's what these things was used for. And guess who lived amongst them? Your oppressor, so-called white man who the Bible describes as Esau, okay, who is the damn devil the Bible speaks of. Just a little side note, you know what I'm saying? We'll get in that eventually too, right? You know, we're not racist here. We only repeating what the Most High says. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. On top of that, the earth's gonna tell you. The earth's gonna tell you who those people are. Right? They're gonna tell you who Esau is, the red man, the real red man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can't eat pork. You can't eat none of that, man. Shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters. Man, look, all of those things are abominations to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's more to that too. Give me 1 second. There's definitely more to that. You know, the divorce. Oh man, let me touch on this. The drugs. You know, we got the potheads out here, man. We got the pill poppers out here. You know what I'm saying? We got, all of that, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know, brothers and sisters love to make an excuse for that. They love to give a reason behind why, the God made that. He made it for us. It's a plant. Man, you a goddamn fool, because heroin is a plant. Cocaine comes from a plant. Right? You ain't out here you ain't out here validating that. You're not out here screaming about how that's cool to do, right? You ain't screaming how it's cool to be a dope fiend, but you'll say it's okay to smoke some weed. Guess what? You're a dope fiend too. You know what I'm saying? You are a dope fiend too. The Most High don't want you abusing drugs. He don't want you out here getting high, altering your mind state. You know what I'm saying? Affecting your mental abilities. You know what I'm saying? To make righteous judgments. That's what happens when you smoke weed, right? You don't care. You're not really bothered about, what's really going on. You're not really, looking to face the problems that you are addressed with in your daily life. You're actually a coward because you're running from it. How do I know? Because I used to be that person. I used to be that person who wanted to get high. You know what I'm saying? Who was like, you know what? Hey, no, I'm not avoiding no problems. It just, takes away the anger. You know what I'm saying? Makes me a little bit more relaxed, allows me to, do this, and other. But guess what? I became docile, right? I became distracted. You know what I'm saying? I became, disarmed. That's the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what weed is going to do for you. It's going to disarm you on the battlefield, because that's where we're in. We're in a battlefield. We're at war, and you are clueless about that. You're clueless about it because you rather be high out of your goddamn mind than to have some clarity, the clarity enough to look your enemy in his eyes and go to war with him. That's what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So continue to get high. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be coming and chasing after the priests and prophets of the Most High, which is the ISPK, when the time comes, when World War III comes, because it's coming. War is inevitable. It's happened throughout all of man, the history of man. You understand? What you think, because we ain't had no bombs dropped in our land, that you're going to be able to escape that? That's not the reality. That's not what we're looking forward to. In ISBK, we look forward to the World War III. You know why? Because that's prophecy also. You understand? It's in the Bible also to talk about what's going to happen to Babylon, America. In other words, America. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be destroyed just like Egypt. You know what I'm saying? But back into the class, man. Back into the class. Go ahead. Continue with that scripture if you could.
Khan out of one Khan. Till all be fulfilled. Do you want me to select it? Do you want me to read from the top?
Where you at?
18.
Yeah, read from the top. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Man, stop. That's a hard one just to let pass. This is very, difficult as a prophet and a priest to just hear that and not respond on that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm still on the first damn scripture. I'm trying to move on, but it's so much to talk about in regards to this. You know what I'm saying? Because everywhere we look, they tell you to live in lawlessness. Man, let's not even talk about the church right now. Let's just talk about in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to think that I was sacrificing for my family. I used to think that I was actually doing something righteous and honorable because I was doing whatever I had to do to provide for my family. That's bullshit, because that's an illusion. You know why that's an illusion? There's a bunch of reasons why that's an illusion. First and foremost, it's goddamn illegal. It's illegal. You go into jail when you sell drugs, man. And when you go to jail, you lose it all. Okay, that's the first point. The first point. You know what I'm saying? You're not El Capone. You're not El Chapo. And guess what happened to them? They dead and in jail. Okay, so the best case scenario, you still lose. All right. So it's an illusion. You're being tricked, man. You're not sacrificing from your family. You're being a goddamn coward. That's what's going on. You understand? You're being weak, because you don't want to buckle down and show some goddamn discipline and some self-control and some wherewithal and do something with order and decency. That's what you got to do. It's no getting around that. You don't get to take shortcuts in life, man. You ain't figured that out yet? You haven't figured that out yet? Then you wonder why you still in the situation that you in. You don't get it? You keep trying to take the coward's way out, and the Most High keeps having mercy. And he keeps giving you another chance to get it right. But you just won't listen. You want to sell some drugs. Man, you not making no money. You want to scam and crack cards. You not making no money, man. Show me some buildings you bought. Show me some businesses you started. Show me some stocks and bonds that you purchased off of this so-called hustling you've been doing, man. Oh, you did that? Good job. Guess what? They're going to come take that. IRS want that. They coming to see you. All right? Stop trying to take shortcuts. It's an illusion. It's not real. Another thing, can you teach that to your kids? Huh? And good consciousness, can you say, oh, I've been so successful at selling drugs, I'm going to teach that to my sons? Is there anyone out there that's willing to say that? I've seen it happen, don't get me wrong. But can you admit to it? Can you admit to that's what your plan is? That you're going to destroy your children to continue a tradition of being a weak person, of being a goddamn puppet, of being a progenitor of the white man's job security, because that's what you're doing. You keeping them crackers in employment. You keeping their kids in college. You understand? You keeping they fridges full, right? You keeping them Christmas gifts under their goddamn tree piled up, sky high, because you want to sell drugs. And you get locked up every time. You're not good at this, man. You know why you're not good at it? Let me tell you why you're not good at it. Because it's not for you. That is not your culture. Your culture is of the Most High. You are a damn Israelite of the Bible, man. So-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, that's who you are. The Most High not going to allow you to be a criminal and get away with it. He's not. And if you have been getting away with it, guess what? He's going to use you as an even bigger example of how far you can fall when the fall happens. Think I'm lying? Just wait and see. I'm not a hater, man. I don't wish no ill will on none of my people. You understand? I wish you all the success and prosperity in life, but guess what? That's not how life works, man. That's not how life works. You get a little bit of sunshine, but then here comes the rain. The day's going to come where judgment will befall you. So in that day, are you going to be able to stand tall with your head held high and say, man, I was righteous and I did everything I was supposed to do. I followed them law, statutes, and commandments. I put in that work. I sacrificed for my people. I didn't just do this for myself. You can't say that when you selling drugs, man. You can't say that when you out here whoring our sisters, man. You can't say that in good conscience. You understand? So let's get in order. Let's follow some orders. Let's follow the law, statutes, and commandments that have been provided to us since the beginning of our history, man. There's a reason we still talking about this today. The stuff is valuable. It means something. Continue.
Khan out of one Khan. Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Stop. That's your Christian pastors, man. Unfortunately, that's your big mama and your grandma. You know what I'm saying? Reiterating what they've been taught for generations in these Christian and Catholic churches. Let me not forget about the Catholics. Man, the Catholics are so traditional. But who are they following? Satan. You know what I'm saying? So many goddamn kids being molested and abused in the Catholic Church is just, I don't think anyone else is even close to the numbers that they got. And these are your teachers. These are your teachers. Oh, just say 10 Hail Marys and you're forgiven. That's not how that works, man. You got to change your behaviors. You got to repent means to change. You don't get to come as you are. You don't get to repeat the offense and think that the Most High is not going to deal with you. You're going to get dealt with. You're going to get dealt with just like with any other law in life, in the world, in regular society. You speed, you get a speeding ticket. You jaywalk, you get a jaywalking ticket. You get caught committing a crime, you're going to jail. Guess what? The Most High is the highest judge in the land. You hear me? you're getting dealt with, man. You're getting dealt with, man. Stop trying to shortchange the Most High because you can't see him. You can't see him, no. But guess what? I bet you feel him though. I bet you gonna feel him. You're gonna feel him. You're gonna wonder why you're going through everything that you're going through. You're gonna wonder why you're depressed and confused and broke and everything else, and being attacked from left and right and from unseen, demonic, what I'm saying, whatever. You're gonna wonder why you're being attacked. Put it like that. And I'm telling you why. Because the Most High is trying to get your attention. Grace doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want to do. Grace doesn't mean you get to live life. You know what I'm saying? And not follow some type of order. You understand? You got the laws of nature, the laws of physics, right? The law of attraction, all these laws. You'll follow those though. You'll follow those, but you won't follow the law of the Most High. Make it make sense, man. Please make it make sense. But it's okay because I used to be like you. A goofy, as the generals would call it. A straight goofy, you hear me? I was a goofy at one point in time too. You don't got to be a goofy no more, man. Come to the ISPK. We're gonna make you goofy proof. You understand? You're not gonna be a goofy no more. We're gonna teach you how to be a real man. We're gonna teach you how to be an austere man, a man of war, a man of honor. You know what I'm saying? A man amongst men. That's what we're gonna teach you how to be. Let's go and pull out another scripture, if I could. Let me get Romans 6:1, 6:1, if I could. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, this is the ISPK Southern Illinois law class. And today we want to teach you about some law and order. You know what I'm saying? We want to teach you about, the blueprint that's been provided. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here to do. That's our job. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to break down for you. All you got to do is start taking yourself serious. That's really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself the chance to, be the person that you're supposed to be. You got to stop running from your purpose, your calling. You know what I'm saying? We all got the same calling. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you got the same calling. That is to be a soldier in the Most High's army. That's it. A son of God. You know what I'm saying? You got that? Go ahead.
Khan out of one Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may be abound?
Stop. So it's been a while since I've interacted with, with the Christian dogma. You know what I'm saying? That's so prevalent in our society. But I know for a fact that's what's being told to us, that the reason why the laws are done away with is because Christ died for us and grace abounds. It's telling you right here. It's telling you right here. Go ahead, repeat that.
Khan out of one Khan. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin?
Stop.
That grace.
Shall we continue in sin? Shall we continue to be pieces of SHI, you know what? That's the question. I mean, for me, it's an obvious, answer. The answer is hell no. Hell no. In the world, I didn't want to be a scumbag, a weak man, a coward. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that's unlawful is tattoos. I got 2 tattoos, okay? One says live with loyalty, if you can see that. The other one says die with honor. All right? I got these as a young man, all right? So I wanted to follow some level of honor. I wanted to have some level of loyalty. There's always been a desire to be, in order, right? You know what I'm saying? And discipline. I think we have that everywhere. I mean, look at all the gangs, right? All the gangs in our society, in America's society, started out with, with that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You got the laws, You got the creeds, right? You got the decrees and everything else, right? That are being taught and distributed to our young men in our communities, in our neighborhoods. And you know, that's where it started from. And I'll be honest, it was a righteous thought in a sense. It was a nice thought to start with. Don't get me wrong, it really was. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is without the Most High, you're not going to be successful in nothing that you do. Look at what happened to Larry Hoover. Look at what happened to Jeff Ford. You know what I'm saying? And down the line, I can continue on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? These men that instituted these, you know, so-called organizations and put them in place just for them to fail, just for them to be dismantled, and just for them to be more destructive than they were ever helpful. And there's no comparison to that. That's the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? So you could follow all the damn decrees and so-called laws that you want coming from our neighborhoods and from these so-called gangs and organizations, and you ain't gonna get nowhere with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because don't nobody really honor that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good on paper, it looks good on paper, but people ain't really honoring that, man. They're not gonna really lay their life down for you. You know what I'm saying? The moment you go to jail, they're gonna be at your girl, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna steal from you. I don't care. You've been putting them on and helping them out since you knew them for years, from day one, right? From our day ones. Half our day ones we don't even talk to no more. Half of them have became ops. And I say that from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? Anyone that knows me from the world, I've always had an honorable reputation. I've always, you know, been a quote unquote real nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is, you know, unfortunately, a lot of the people that I thought were real with me, you know, they're not really real. You know what I'm saying? They lost that. You know what I'm saying? They lost that. And the fact of the matter is I could go on and comparing, and there is no comparison. There is no comparison between the perfection and the righteousness that is found under the Most High and delivered by the Isupk. That's where the real righteousness is found. That's where the real brotherhood is found. I mean, it's truly perfect here. It's truly perfect here, and that's a hard thing to swallow sometimes, especially somebody from the world, right? You don't really understand what we mean by the brotherhood is perfect and the organization and the structure in the Isupk is perfect, right? Because at the end of the day, we're men, and people fuck up sometimes, Shalaka. People mess up sometimes, but you are held accountable. There is a zero tolerance policy involved in the Isupk. You're going to be held accountable because it's not just us watching. It's the Most High. It's his angels watching and reporting back to the Most High. And it's up to us to continue that, or the Lord won't no longer be with us. And then we'll be just like all the rest of these fake Israelite groups out here who are being revealed as homosexuals and sexual deviants and drug abusers and everything else under the sun, right? That's not who we are. There's a reason why we've been around since 1969, and our reputation and pedigree are flawless. You understand? You got people who try to come up against the school, who try to defame and you know discredit General Commander General Yohana, but guess what? It don't work. We still here. We still growing in numbers because the real recognize real, right? And if you ain't coming with no paperwork and no real proof, man, look, we ain't trying to hear none of that stuff, man. We ain't trying to hear it because we see that man's works. We see him following the Most High. We see him instituting the law, statutes, and commandments with perfection. There is no leeway here. You don't get to do what you want to do here. There's law and order. Go ahead, continue with that scripture if you could.
Khan out of one Khan. Verse 2. Oh, Salakia. Salakia.
Start over if you need to.
Yeah, I got it. Verse 2. God forbid, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
Stop. So what that's talking about is becoming that new man, right? In the Bible, it talks about, doing away with that old person and becoming a new man. Killing off that old man. That's what you got to do. Truthfully, you got to kill off that old man. You got to become a new person. And when you become that new person, you're dead in sin. It means there is no exceptions. There's none. The Spirit of the Most High is going to convict you. It's going to convict you, and eventually you're going to be revealed for who you really are. If you're not fighting, if you're not genuinely trying to become that new person, if you're not genuinely repenting and changing from your old ways, you will be found out. And guess what? Once we find out who you really are, you're gone. You get subtracted. As General Muhammad says, we're stronger by subtraction. You're gone. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So either you be dead in sin or you live in sin, man. The Most High don't want no lukewarm brothers in his ranks or sisters in his ranks. You know what I'm saying? You still got that spirit on you where you wanna dress provocatively. You wanna, you know what I'm saying, be popular. You want a social media following. But at what cost though? At what cost? Are you gonna sacrifice your morals for that? Are you gonna sacrifice the reputation of your husband, of a priest, or of a man of honor to get that? That's being that old person. You got to be the new person. You got to do away with that. You got to fight against that temptation to do anything that you used to do. And I promise you that's not a small statement. You damn near got to reset your whole life. That's what's going to take. Now, that doesn't happen overnight. Nobody's saying you got to come in here and be a robot and just, no, that's not what's going on. The Most High is real. You know what I'm saying? He's going to deal with you in a real manner. I've been in this truth for about 3 years, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still perfecting myself. I'm still seeking that crown. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And this don't stop. This don't stop. You got to be at the ready at all times. You got to be prepared at all times. You got to be on guard at all times, no matter how long you in this. The longer you in it, the more you're going to get tested, truthfully. You know what I'm saying? The harder the battles are going to be. You know what I'm saying? The more you're going to be tempted to stray away from the laws and the statutes and commandments of the Most High. For whatever reason. I don't know. I haven't faced that yet. You know what I'm saying? But all I know is if I can remain brotherly and in the brotherhood, and if I can remain in order and decency, I think I'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll be all right if I'm able to follow what's been presented and laid down in front of me. I think I'll be all right. And you could too. You could too. You don't have to stress no more about being, POS. You know what I'm saying? A piece of SHIT. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. You get to sleep good at night. No matter what your past is, no matter what you've done, no matter what you've been through, if you become that new man, listen, you get a peace of mind about it. That don't mean things are going to be perfect. That don't mean it's going to be all, sunshine and sunflowers and rainbows. No, that's the farthest from the truth. But you become more prepared. You become equipped for the battle. You know what I'm saying? You're prepared. That's what's going on here. But go ahead, continue with that scripture, please. Baba Kasha.
Khan. Verse 3. Know ye not that so many of us, as were baptized into Jesus Christ, were baptized into his death?
All right, stop there. I think we're going too far with that one. Let me get Romans 6:15. So you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision on what's really important to you. You got to figure out why, you're doing these things, why you're battling with those thoughts in your head. Why do you even have the desire to be righteous, to be honorable? Once you figure that out, Then you tap in with the ISUPK, you know, and then you follow this blueprint that's been provided for you, you know, and we're going to show you the utmost brotherhood and sisterhood that you've ever encountered. That's the truth. You know, like I said, I don't say that lightly. You got that scripture?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law?
Stop.
Under.
You good? So what then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law? Go ahead. Continue. Matter of fact, finish that out.
Con out of one con. But under grace, God forbid.
Hold on. Let me get there with you real quick. Romans 6 and 15. All right. Go ahead. Read it from the top.
Con out of one con. This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid.
God forbid, man. God forbid that you be allowed to sin because you're not under the law. Come on, man. The laws are still valid, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get to do whatever the hell you want to do. Whatever wicked and sick thing comes to your heart and your desire in your mind to act out. You don't get to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Grace doesn't mean you get to be a sinner, for, you know, to say it in a nice way. That's not what grace means, man. Grace doesn't mean you get to be, you know, lawless out here, man. Grace is simply saying, hey, man, you're going to get a little bit more time to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Before I chop your damn head off. That's what grace is talking about. That doesn't mean you're not still held accountable. That doesn't mean you're still not responsible for the choices that you make. That's not what that's talking about. That doesn't make any sense to even believe that. And the fact that so many people do believe it, so many Christians and Catholics and, you know, other religions believe that since the law is done away with, you get to do and be unaccountable for all of these wicked things. Man, that says a lot about your character and your spirit. It really does. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to want to cop out like that, for you to want, go to jail free card, in other words, to be, you know, a wicked and just a disgusting person, man, listen, man, you got to get yourself together. You got to get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not natural. You know what I'm saying? It's not natural. You know, even without, you know what I'm saying, the scriptures, even without the so-called religion, you know what I'm saying? Everyone talks about how they're such a good person. They want to be a good person. How does that make you a good person? To say that you're excused from consequence? You're not excused from consequences. There's consequences for all of your actions. It's not about your intentions. That's not how you're judged. You're not judged because you got good intentions. You're judged by your works. That's it. Point blank, period. You shall reap what you sow. In other words, you know what I'm saying? If you out here, you know, putting in a certain work, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a certain result. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You don't magically get a different result when you out here being a scumbag. That's not how that works. You out here committing crimes and you out here going against the commandments of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And everything else under the sun. What makes you think somehow you get to be blessed as a result of that? The conclusion of all of that is you get to go home and be happy and blessed and blissful. That's what your understanding is. You're a damn fool. You're a damn fool. You're an idiot. In General Muhammad's words, you're a damn idiot. You understand? You know, that's just not how that works, man. And even outside of so-called, you know, religion and you know, spiritualism, you know what I'm saying? Just in everyday life, you're held by those same standards. There's a reason why you can't just go out and do whatever you want to do. There's a reason why there's laws and things put in order. You know what I'm saying? To run, people, to keep people in order, right? There's a reason why that's there and that's established. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to just mess up and not have consequences for it. Now, what you can do is learn from those mistakes. Now, what you can do is man up and woman up and change your behavior based off the lessons that you learn from making those mistakes. You can get that. That's what grace is talking about. That's what grace is talking about. God forbid that you're allowed to sin just because you're under grace. The Most High died for us because nothing else was working. We weren't following the laws of the sacrifice. That didn't matter to us. We killed a goat. It wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Getting the forgiveness and the mercy and everything else, that wasn't enough. The Most High had to die for us. A man that was perfect came down in the flesh. He had the most power you can possibly imagine. You know what I'm saying? He wielded legions of angels. Scriptures talk about Christ coming back with 200 million angels. Imagine having an army of 200 million at your behest, at your command. And we're talking about angels now. We ain't talking about just regular men with chariots, the so-called UFOs. Come on, man. What would you do with that type of power? Would you die for someone who's a sinner, who's a scumbag? I don't know anyone who will. I really don't. And that's why they're saying, God forbid. Man, you don't get no grace just because Christ died. You don't get to excuse your sin just because the grace you received because Christ died. That's not how that works, man. Think about it in a practical sense. If I'm over here making sacrifices for you, right? And I had to take, your weight, right? We get locked up together. I had to take your weight, and you go out there and die of an overdose or get locked up again for the same stuff. What you think I'm gonna say about you? I'm gonna be like, damn, I just took this time for this dude. You know what I'm saying? I just took his damn charge. I took his charge just for you to go out there and do some goofy stuff. Man, listen, come on. That don't make no sense. That's what you basically saying about Christ. Christ took your charge, man. He took your weight, man. You didn't take your own weight. Christ took your weight, man. And you saying, F him, man. Look, man, he was a goofy. I'll never do that. I'll never die for somebody who's out here sinning. That's what you saying. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'm at that point either, but that's what I'm trying to be at, because the best thing you could possibly do is to sacrifice and die for your people. So right now, what I'm sacrificing is my life. In other words, my time, my energy, my resources. The Isupk is 100% self-funded. Everything we do is from the ground up, built from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? We putting in all the works. We doing all the organizing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. So in a sense, that's what I am doing. But we talking about you actually being murdered for that cause. There ain't too many people that I know with confidence who will be able to do that. Commander General Hanna, he one of them. The generals, they one of them. Captains, there's a lot of captains that I know personally who going to do that for us. I even know Brother Spirits. I can see that. But we talking about people in the world, listen, man, it ain't too many people I know that's going to die for their God, man. That's going to take that way for their homie and go do this bid, man. We talking about a lifetime bid. Christ did a lifetime bid for us, man. You going to do that lifetime bid? Nah, you're not going to do that lifetime bid, man. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're under grace doesn't mean you get to sin. That's the gist of that. All right. We're gonna move on to another scripture. You with me, Anashwan?
Come on, sir.
You wanna make a comment? You wanna touch on anything? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Anytime the spirit hits you, man, just raise your hand. I can't really see you. I'll be honest, I can't see you.
Yeah,
You got to get closer to your camera or something. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm close. I'm right here. I don't know what's up with this. I'm not.
Yeah, just try to work on that while you're doing it. But let's get 1 John 2:3-5. Let's go with that one. And just so y'all know, this is strong, okay? And it's lawful to drink strong. Christ was labeled as a wine bibber, right? A drunkard. He drank wine. Wine has alcohol in it. It has an alcohol concentration in it. It's not unlawful to drink liquor. It is unlawful. I can see you perfectly now. It is unlawful to be a drunkard. So your Christian pastors who like to be holier than thou, they drink liquor. All right. You think your Catholic priests are passing out that damn grape juice, that wine, and they in the back getting drunk while they molesting your sons? Oh, they are. They getting real drunk. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in none of that stuff they telling you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that man-made bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could curse. But anyway, you got that for me?
John through
First John 2, 3, and 5. 1 John 2, 3, and 5. 1 second, y'all. Matter of fact, go to 1 John 3 and 4 first. 1 John 3 and 4. We got to break down what law means. What transgressing from the law means. What sin is. I want y'all to understand that. Sin ain't just, committing crimes in the world. It's a lot more in depth than that. You know what I'm saying? You're held to a higher standard. Go ahead.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth
Yes, transgresseth
also the law.
Stop.
Stop.
Go ahead. Continue.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
Stop. There you go, in black and white. Sin is a transgression of the law. You break laws in the world, you're going to be held accountable. You're going to get your tickets. You're going to go to jail. Well, when you break the Most High's law, he's going to come and see you. He's definitely going to come and see you. You know what I'm saying? So sin is the transgression of the law. Straight, just like that. You transgress from the law, you break the law, and every law still applies from the Old Testament to the New Testament. None of it's done away with, not a jot or tittle. You understand? We broke that down earlier. None of it's done away with. So you break them laws, you're a sinner. And God hates the sinner. You understand? He don't just hate the sin and not the sinner, like your Christian pastor is going to tell you. Nah. He hates your ass too, sinner. He hates you too. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. If you can't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, he's going to turn away from you. He's going to give you over to your lowest desires. He's going to allow you to be that disgusting creature that you so desire and seek after to be. That's what he's going to allow you to do. And you're going to be destroyed, and you're going to die a wicked and horrible death. On your deathbed, you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna have so many regrets. You're gonna say, "Oh my God, I wish I would have did this and this and that." All you had to do was listen to the priests and prophets. That's it. You know what I'm saying? What's that story about? A brother who was in hell and was praying to Abraham to let him come back to life so he can warn his brothers. And he said, why would I let you do that if they don't listen to the prophets and the men of God? Why would they listen to you? That's what's going on here, man. Y'all got to hear, this decree that we're putting out, that the Most High is real, that you will be held accountable. Black, Hispanic, or Native American man, you will be sought after. Now, either you come to that calling and you put the work in, and you get in line, The Most High is a gangster. You hear me? You better get down or you going to lay down. That's how that's going to go. You either going to get down with these law, statutes, and commandments or you going to lay down. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way around it. So keep on seeking, these fleshly desires. Keep on seeking power and popularity and status in the earth. See where that gets you. There's nothing wrong with being, having status and power, but you got to do it righteously. You know what I'm saying? There's men in the school, captains and generals who are famous. You know what I'm saying? Who have a lot of money, who have the most power you can possibly imagine, real power. We're not talking about power you got to pay for. The American army, them you think them white boys will be in that army if they wasn't getting paid for it? If they couldn't support their family off that? Hell no. They're gonna be out here, working in the damn farms. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be police officers and everything else. Something they're gonna get paid for. They're not finna do that because out of what was that? They're not gonna do that out of the sense of duty. When the ISUPK, we do this out of sense of duty. We don't get paid. Ain't nobody paying us. You know what I'm saying? We do this because it's an honor, a great honor. To sacrifice and fight alongside our King Yahweh Shai, who started this. You know what I'm saying? It's a great honor to do that. You know what I'm saying? So like 1 John 3 and 4 talks about sin is transgression of the law. Straight up and down. Go ahead, continue. Is there any more on that?
Let's have right here. Law officer.
All right, go ahead and go to 1 John 2, 3, and 5.
Come on, sir. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
Stop. This is your Christian pastor is telling y'all the Most High knows your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got a personal relationship with the Most High. That's not what's going on, man. It's real straight up and down. We do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. That's it. If you are a law-abiding Israelite, that's it. If you're a law-abiding Israelite, then you know the Most High, and he knows you. Straight up and down. There is no way around that. You know what I'm saying? You sin, you transgress from the law, man, he's going to turn away from you. He don't know you. You know what I'm saying? He damn sure going to act like he don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
Verse 4. He that said, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Stop. You a goddamn liar. I love God. I love Jesus. Jesus knows my heart. While you smoking weed, while you out here being a whore and a whoremonger, because you have no discipline, right? While you out here being part of the LGBTQ community, while you out here divorcing your wife and divorcing your husband, while you out here stealing and killing from your own brothers and sisters, you want to go to church every Sunday. I bet all y'all went to church on Mother's Day. Oh my God. Salakia. Everyone went to church on Sunday. You ain't been to church all damn year, but you made sure you made it on Sunday. You made sure you took them pictures. You know what I'm saying? You make sure you put a little bit of money in that collection plate on Sunday so the Most High can see you, right? Man, look, he don't see you. Oh, he sees you. He sees you in your unrighteousness. That's what he sees. You know what I'm saying? He sees you being lukewarm. and wanted to be on the fence, right? You want to claim righteousness, but you ain't really about it. You know what I'm saying? You want to claim you love the Most High, but you ain't following his law, statutes, and commandments. Please explain that to me. You got to keep his commandments, man. You claim to know the Most High. It's like one of my kids saying, yeah, that's my father. You know what I'm saying? But they out here doing everything else that I told them not to do. What does that mean? It don't mean nothing. That's just a title. If I'm your daddy and you ain't actually listening to me and doing what I tell you to do, that means you don't honor me. That means you don't give a goddamn what I'm talking about. You're gonna do what you want to do. So you think that puts you in good standing with me? Hell no. Nah. Why would it put you in good standing with the Most High if you out here doing whatever it is that you want to do against what the Most High is telling you not to do? How does that make sense? But you know him and you love him. Oh, you don't love him, man. You're not keeping his commandments. You know what I'm saying? He that saith I know him and keep not his commandments is a goddamn liar. You don't like that? Hey, accept it. You are a liar. You're a liar and you're weak. That's the truth of the matter. You don't got to be weak, though. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing. That's why we're here right now, to talk to y'all and teach y'all, to let you know that you do not have to be that weak individual any longer. You don't have to live in that shame any longer. Because I know you feel like a piece of S. You know what I'm saying? I know you feel horrible when you wake up in the morning. Like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have did that, but I did it anyway because I was weak. And you let the Christian church tell you, oh, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong. No, your flesh and your spirit is strong, man. I mean, weak. You know what I'm saying? They both weak. That's the truth of the matter. They both weak. And you show that every goddamn day you wake up and you continue to be a dishonorable, lawless goddamn animal. That's the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're dealing with. And you wonder why our kids are worse off than we ever were. You wonder why. Right? Because you told them exactly what you were told. Don't do what I do what I say. That's not how it works. You don't get to not do what the Most High says. You got to follow what he says. That's how that works. You got to follow instruction. That's how that works. You don't get to just do whatever you want and think that somehow your kids are going to be better off because of it. Man, listen, if you out here smoking weed, your kid's going to smoke weed. If you out here twerking and dressing like a hoe, your daughters are going to do the same thing. Okay? If you out here laying down with every abomination under the sun, your son's going to do the same thing. He's going to be a homosexual too. Okay? He's going to be a sexual deviant too. Because you never exhibited any self-control. You never exhibited any discipline. You never represented and been an example of righteousness and honor. So your kids will do the same thing. And it's going to be a perpetual cycle. That's what's going to happen. Okay? That's what's going to continue to happen. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Go ahead. Was that everything? Or go ahead. What's the next one?
Verse 5.
There we go. Verse 5.
But whoso keepeth his word in him, verily is the love of God perfected.
Stop. That's the gospel. That's the good news right there. It ain't all bad. You get a chance to come back. You get to redeem yourself. You get to, be a part of the kingdom and claim your crown if you're really about that. You know what I'm saying? Whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Perfection is attainable. I know the world tells you nobody's perfect. We all fall short. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Perfection is attainable. You know how we know? Because Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, attained that perfection. He had the same temptations that we had. The same temptations. You know what I'm saying? To eat abominable things, to follow his sexual desires, and everything else. He dealt with it. And he stood strong. He overcame because he trusted in the Most High more than he trusted in these worldly things. That's what we got to turn from. Stop putting your trust in the world. You're going to lose every time you do that. You're going to lose every time you try to make a friend or think one of these, goofies is your homies. And he's going to show you his true self. It's going to show you that you can't depend on him. When the getting gets hard, he's going to be gone. He's going to run on you. He's going to abandon you. That woman's going to leave you when you face trials and tribulations, when you lose your job, when you go to jail. You know what I'm saying? When you're sick, she's going to leave you. The Most High is not ever going to leave you. And what he's established in the Isupk is a brotherhood and a sisterhood that will never abandon you. We have that. Heaven on earth. Come check it out. We got high holy days. We got feasts. We got cookouts. We got the Passover. You want to see real brotherhood and sisterhood? Look up isupk.com. Find the school nearest you and get in class, man. Get in class. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a real nigga? You know what I'm saying? You want to be righteous? You want to live with some honor, some real honor? You want to have a perfect loyalty? Come to the Isupk. All right? My name is Officer Natasiaba Maf. I got my son in here with me, Officer Nashwan, who's man amongst men in the Hebrew. I don't do that lightly. Would you bring your son to a place that wasn't real, that wasn't righteous? Hell no, I don't think you would. Unless you're a, scumbag, for lack of better words, because I want to call you something else. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what we're going to do right now. One day, I will call you that. Come to camp. We got camp speakers every Saturday. You understand? We're going to be in Gary, Indiana this month. You know what I'm saying? Check us out. ISPK, Gary, Indiana. We're going to be there this Saturday. We was just in Indianapolis, Indiana, last Saturday. Okay. We all over. We all over. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you at, there's a school near you. Go ahead, tap in with us, man. Check us out. Even if you don't believe in it or agree with it, man, come dispute it. Come talk your shit, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? Come disprove us. They've been trying to do it since 1969. But you know why they can't? Because we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We're perfect in the Lord's sight. That's why. That's why this brotherhood is perfect. This nation that we have built is perfect. From the top down, man, I done witnessed some glorious stuff. I done witnessed fathers choosing their daughters' husbands. I don't know if you got any kids. If you got kids and you got daughters, and as a man, listen, imagine picking your daughter's husband. You're going to pick the most righteous man you possibly can find, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to give your daughter away to a goddamn beast, to a, to a criminal and a weak man. You're not going to do that. You're going to find the most righteous, austere man you could possibly find. Strong man. You know what I'm saying? I've witnessed that with my own eyes. It was glorious to behold. You know what I'm saying? The brotherhood in the Isupk is like no other. You're not going to find this in your Islam, in your mosque. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to find this in your Judaism with the fake Jews. You're not going to find this, in your Christian church, in your Catholic church. You ain't going to find this nowhere. You're not going to find this on the block with your homies who been your day ones, who's going to fucking trick on your ass. They're going to trick on you, man. Just so you know that. They're going to backdoor you for a reason. Okay? You're not going to find that nowhere. You're not going to find that in the group of friends that you made from grammar school and high school. You're not going to find this nowhere. I'm telling you from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? You know, with that being said, I think we're gonna end it there. Yeah. We're gonna end it there. I'm Officer Natazia Abamaf. I'm here with my rider, man amongst men, Officer Nashwan. You know what I'm saying? We are the ISBK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Ihana, the most honorable and righteous man you'll ever meet. You understand? And with that, Shalom, Israel.